The Catalyst, a CEP podcast on bold leadership in the Ocala Metro. Hosted by the Ocala Metro Chamber and Economic Partnership. Sponsored by Douglas Law Firm. And recorded live at Reilly Productions Podcast Studios, located in Ocala, Florida. Welcome to The Catalyst. I'm your host, Natalie McComb, Vice President for the Ocala Metro Chamber and Economic Partnership Foundation. I'm joined today by a real power couple for music and the arts in Ocala, Pamela and Matt Wardell. Great to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks, Natalie.
Thanks for being here. So you've been making wonderful music together, both on the stage and behind the scenes for nearly a decade. Matt, you as CEO, Artistic Director, and Conductor of the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, and Pamela as Executive Director. You both now lead the Reilly Arts Center, which was restored and reimagined from the old Ocala City Auditorium in 2015. Pamela, what was the tipping point for that project? When did you know, hey, this is really going to happen, we're really going to open this facility?
Well, I remember I was actually at a CEP event, and I had just heard that the symphony wanted to start raising money to build the Reilly Arts Center. And I saw Matt there, and I said, I would love to be a part of this project. I knew it was going to happen. I'm a lifelong Ocala resident, and I knew it needed to happen. And I jumped right in. It, of course, couldn't hire me immediately, but eventually there was a space open, and I came in, and I just knew we needed this. This was going to be the start of something big. And even at that time, we didn't know how big it was going to be, and how many people would be involved, and how many people in Ocala could be involved for the arts. So that was kind of my entree into the Reilly Arts Center.
Matt, what was your biggest hurdle in finally securing this as the permanent home for the Ocala Symphony Orchestra?
You know, I think it was almost like just like a real hurdle race. It was like a series of, there wasn't one thing necessarily that was the toughest, but obviously funding is sort of the elephant in the room. Once we had a named donor, Bob Reilly, who had committed to a really sizable chunk to get us started, that made it feel like, okay, this can happen. But then you have all those smaller hurdles of, it was a public-private partnership with the city, which was great, and the city of Ocala was so helpful in making that work for us. But even in a great situation, there's still a lot of little things to kind of negotiate and figure out. So for us, that was some of the stuff that was tough to navigate. And honestly, before Pamela was on board, we had some vision, we had some energy financially. We had the city was backing it. But her coming on from her perspective of sort of, she's a great organizer of energy and talent. That really was important to kind of getting it to the finish line. So that all of that sort of put together, and it was a really fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, and it's been shared that you had mentioned that the Reilly project was really it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
We always knew we weren't just looking for a home for the symphony. So that was the catalyst, not to name drop the podcast, but that was the catalyst for us to get into the project. Was the symphony had been around since 1975, and we didn't have a permanent home. We had played at CF, we were playing at OBS, which was really great, especially you could smell the hay in the air and all that. But it was fun to be out there.
Ambiance, right?
Yeah, it was great. And every once in a while, we'd hear little nays in the background, but we knew we needed a home. However, when we got to the city auditorium and really studied that project, we also knew that it shouldn't just be a home for us, and it was really important. We wanted to be downtown. We wanted to be in the heart of Ocala. So that we could attract from all, the West and the East. We wanted to be a part of sort of the change that we smelt in the air at that time. 2014, 15, we knew there was some growth happening. And we wanted that place, the Reilly, to be somewhere where we could be there. Other community groups could come in and give events. We wanted, obviously, national artists, and we wanted our whole community to be there. And I think that first project did it, and then it was sort of the later expansion, which I know we'll talk about, that really sort of put the icing on that cake that helped it really be something for everyone.
Yeah, and the Reilly really continues to be that anchor and change agent for Tuscarora Park, with more development coming to the south end of the park and the new brewery and restaurant concept as well. How important do you think this redevelopment around the Tuscarora Park area is to the future success of the Reilly?
It's really important. I mean, when we started the project, we really had that Field of Dreams mentality. If you build it, they will come. You know, and we had some naysayers. There was some issues in the park. It just wasn't used a lot. You know, it was empty feeling sometimes. So when we got there, we felt like that changed a lot. And then as we've seen these developments come around us, you know, the art apartments, which brought, I'm not sure, 30 or 40 units to Tuscola Park of people living there. Now seeing the fire station conversion project to a brewery, hearing about some of the things that are going to happen really just a stone's throw from us with the forge and all those things. It's really important, and it adds to what we're doing. And we're close with all of those developers, and we have these conversations that we can't wait till you're there, and let's find ways to partner and all those kinds of things. Anytime we go to a concert out of town, what do? We usually go out to eat beforehand. We hope there's a place late night with something really bad like tacos or just something that's really gonna get us exciting. Yeah, a little grease to soak up what we may or may not have drank earlier. But no, we want to feel that. You want to make an event out of it, and we really feel like now you're able to do that in downtown Ocala. There's really something to do for everybody. Definitely.
Wonderful. And in 2020, the Reilly also stepped in to save another historic building, the Marion Theatre in downtown Ocala. Pamela, why was saving this facility important to you both and to your board, as I'm sure you had to get some buy-in from them as well?
Yeah, I mean, the Marion Theater means so much to so many people in Ocala. For years, you know, it's served a lot of different purposes, but I think we are so fortunate to have a historic theater in the middle of our downtown, and it should be used as a theater, as a destination space. So we were excited. We loved, you know, what the Sotos were doing, and definitely didn't want to see it go dark. So when the city approached us, we were all on board, and we may have had a plan already in place.
Just in the wings, waiting in the wings.
Oh, what's this? Yeah.
Wow, we may have cooked something up before, but it's a place that deserves to be cherished in our community, and we're excited to be the torchbearers of this space. With the classics, with the second run films, with the live events, our goal was really to use that space to infuse energy and connectivity with all of the other businesses downtown. One doesn't work without the other. So it's really our honor to manage it. And Adam Volpe, who's the venue manager there right now on our team, he does a great job, and he loves it. Our entire team loves the theater. So it's good to know we have people who care about the theater, care about it in our downtown, and want to see it available for everyone.
Yeah, and it's a great event space. I understand that you can rent it out for corporate events, personal events as well. And I know one of the series that you have there, and as a parent, I find it really cool, is all the children's movies, which are really affordable for families to come and bring their kids. How important is the community partnerships you've built to that? Because I understand, I'm sure it's not cheap to run the theater. So how important are those community partnerships to allowing you to continue that programming?
They're crucial. So each month we have corporate partnerships, sponsors who come in, and we like to call them partnerships because that, you know, organization's able to do a night for their employees or for the community. But like you said, it's not a moneymaker. But so all of those sponsorships really help us provide great programming, help us enhance the programming, help us do things like the sensory Saturdays that are, you know, there for individuals who may need, you know, those accommodations. We're going to be doing a sci-fi family night in September. So for us to be able to do those fun things, we do need those corporate partnerships. And then we hope that those businesses are able to use what we have at the theater to engage with the community, to engage with their employees. We're always hoping it's a win-win.
Obviously, a lot of this takes a lot of planning, a lot of strategy, but also massive capital campaigns. So you undertook a big capital campaign to build the Reilly, but again, you didn't rest very long on that. You all looked and said, you know what, I think we need an additional 15,000 square feet of space that now includes your Noma Black Box Theater, the Frank DeLuca Grand Lobby, and the Community Music Conservatory. So what made you both embark on such an ambitious project that's really expanded the footprint of the Reilly?
Once the Reilly was done, we really did feel like it was a big accomplishment. And we spent, so much time there. I mean, when we opened, we had 3 employees. It was Pamela, myself, and our friend Evan, who's now got his PhD and is doing some great work with opera in Philadelphia. But it was 3 of us, and we were there all the time, and our team has grown. I think now we've got 35 or so folks on board. But we knew right then from the beginning that the space was great, and we're just not the kind of folks to say, okay, we're done. You know, we like, what's next? And so the community outreach portion of it and being able to connect with people really started to drive this idea of a music conservatory would be great, a community school where people could come and learn about music from all ages. And that was a concept that is hard to find other places. We have cello students, for instance, in the conservatory that are 6 years old, and we have some that are 86, and it's really, and they play together sometimes, which is really, really exciting to see. So we knew that was driving it. The black box space was a really cool space that we had so many inquiries for people wanting to do events that we couldn't really accommodate in our traditional 700-seat theater. And we had a lot of other events that we wanted to produce, like great comedians and fun regional comedy and stuff where, yeah, you'll get an audience of 250, which is a great audience for a comedy show. But in a 700-seat auditorium, that feels a little awkward.
Get swallowed up.
Yeah. So we wanted a space that could be flexible, and we knew right away we wanted to do it. And in the second conversation, the pandemic happened. So 2020, we're literally the first business to be closed down and the last one to be able to reopen as a sort of a large public gathering space. So during that time, we really had a lot of questions. We had already known we wanted to expand, but then you start, when we didn't know what was going on, really, our concert's going to be a thing again, or, is a big space the right thing to do? And I remember we had our board president, RJ Jenkins, over one night, and we're kind of sitting around outside on the back patio, and we were doing well financially then. We've always, we kind of pride ourselves on being really fiscally responsible. We are a nonprofit, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you have
still
to
have
lose
to make
money.
a profit, as we know.
Yeah,
Yes.
we still have lots of employees to pay and artists to pay and all that.
Yep.
So we were sitting at the beginning of 2020, we were doing okay. We had some a good reserve built up. Annually, our finances were good, and we were starting to maybe undertake this construction project. And I remember sitting there that night going, maybe we should. Honestly, maybe we shouldn't. We've got some money in the bank right now. Maybe we should kind of wait this thing out.
I think it came down to as well, like, what does our mission look like? What do we want our mission to be? And our mission was also educate, bring people and provide a place for people to learn about the arts, provide a place for people to experience the arts differently. Personally, I love jazz. So having the jazz nights, also finding the black box as another revenue stream is important, talking about that fiscal responsibility. And and then it was just taking a risk. It was like once we jumped, we had to jump. And I always think and recognize our board because they were like, you guys, let's do it. And we were all in.
Wow. And what advice would you have for other nonprofit leaders who may find soliciting big 6-figure naming opportunities intimidating? Anything you would have to say to them?
2 things. I think number 1, you need to show passion. If you don't believe in your project, no one else is going to believe in it. And number 2, be clear and transparent too.
And remember what your mission is, and that's what we always go back to is, I remember when I first got into the business of having to, ask folks to support something I'm doing, you feel like, I feel awkward. I mean, just asking this person for money, but then you realize, well, it's not for me. It's not for Pamela. It's not for no, it's for this mission. And like Pam says, if you believe in that mission, and align yourself with donors who also support that mission. It's actually really easy. I mean, it can be easy to ask. And remember, you never get anything if you don't ask. I mean, that's the reality. There's people that I think have supported us that by the time they came on board, it was almost like they were like, why haven't you asked me before? Like I've been sitting here with the checkbook out and, but we also, and Pamela's so good at this, we really truly do like to develop relationships, not just with our donors, but with all of our patrons, the people who come. We never see it as transactional. I think people can smell that like a mile away. Like we all kind of get that sort of sleazy sales vibe sometimes, and you don't like that, So we really make sure that when we're interacting with our donors and all of our patrons that we're genuine, we're transparent. And I think that's really important. And I think that's many of our larger donors, those naming rights folks and the 6 figures and above, they've given that more than once because I think they believe that in our mission, and they know that we're working really hard to make their donation mean something to the community.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. And what goals do you have for the facility and its programming in the next few years? What's coming down the pike?
I'll go first with this school. I am so excited about Community Music Conservatory. Our first year open, we had 120 students.
Wow.
Yeah, 120. We offer our mission is at any age, any skill level, you can learn an instrument. You can learn more about music. You can learn music with others. So, right now we have kinder music for pre-K and, infants and babies. We're just starting a New Horizons band in the fall, which is for seniors. So anyone 18 and plus who is not a professional, but maybe you played flute for 1 year in middle school and you want to pick it back up, you can come and join the New Horizons band. We're also launching a middle school band. Middle school, we're finding, is an age where students, it's kind of crucial if you're going to be in music, and that's where we're kind of lacking some of those outside of school musical opportunities. So we're starting that at the school. I'm just excited to see that program grow. I think the more that we can do to educate and get people involved in music, the better that our community is, and it helps the Reilly Arts Center overall. We just have people who are excited about music, and you don't have to be a vocational musician. You can just, we have people who are there playing cello and, or learning, the cello for the first time in their 30s, and they're not planning on going and playing with the New York Philharmonic. They're just doing it because they love it and they want to learn something new. So I think that's a really important program.
So why do you think Ocala is well positioned for growth in music and the arts?
Yeah, I think, Ocala has some really great fundamental building blocks to having a really active, successful, growing, energetic, and vibrant arts community. And one, we've got resources and, organizations like the Appleton Museum, Ocala Civic Theater, now the Symphony and the Reilly and the Marion Theatre. You kind of have these in MCA, and you have all these sort of anchor points in FAFO with the art show, and that are, when you look at big cities, they have these things. A large city that's a growing city, they have a great museum, and the Appleton is such a hidden gem. I mean, even people that live in Gainesville or just south of us, I don't think they realize what we have there at the Appleton. I don't think they realize that the OCT is one of the greatest community theaters in the country, right here in Ocala. I mean, literally, it's top 5, top 6, when it's ranked. And then, of course, the Reilly, we have national artists and all that. So we've got all that going on. We have a community, not necessarily those folks that are directly related to those organizations. Outside of those people, you've got a community of people that come from all over the country. We have I know depending on where you are in town, like out west, we have more of a retiree community, more of a transplant community, but they're all coming from, a lot of them are coming from major cities. They're coming from places like New York City and Chicago and Boston, and they're used to a vibrant arts community, and they're also used to supporting a vibrant arts community. And then I think we have employers and businesses in town and folks that are coming here that also recognize a great arts community, a vibrant downtown, and that these are recruiting tools for the folks that they're bringing in. So as our wonderful hospitals are bringing in doctors and specialists, as places like E1 and Signature Brands, they want to bring in executives and stuff. These are the questions they're going to ask. Those companies know that, so they help support the arts as well. And that's I think that's, I won't say we're the only city that has that, but I think all those pieces in one place makes it pretty unique.
Yeah. And what show are you most excited for this season at the Reilly? I know you've got some good ones coming.
I am most excited. I'll say 2.
Okay.
Number 1 is Madeline Perot. She's coming in November. If anyone's not familiar with her, you probably are. If you've ever been to La Cuisine, you probably hear her over in the background music. I actually saw her at the Sony Theater in New York a couple years ago. I've been following her for about 15 years. She's amazing. She's going to be a fantastic performance. And she's one of those performers that I feel it's not, a tribute. It's not something you might know right away. But if you come, you will leave the concert saying, wow, that was great. I feel good inside. I feel energized by music.
Yeah, and I obviously I need to say and really feel that I'm excited about the orchestra season. I feel like every one of the orchestra concerts, it's kind of like we've all had maybe French food, we've all had Mexican food, we've had Peruvian food, and I feel like each orchestra concert's like a totally new food group that we've, and it's just so exciting to me because I want to try that. I might not like it, I might
Expanding
like
your
it.
palate.
And every concert has something like that on it, so I'm always really excited. Especially the first concert, we're doing this incredible piece, Mahler's First Symphony, which and as you said before, that's a piece that traditionally you think, is that one of those top hat and monocle pieces? Mm-hmm. It's not, man. It's about life. It's about spring. It's about all the things that we go through as people, questioning ourselves, wanting to find solutions to problems, and it's really cool. And then that's paired with a brand new work by a great Florida composer named Paul Richards called The Breath of Life, where, during the pandemic, he's sitting around and breath is like constantly on our minds because we're thinking about respirator and all these kind of things. So he writes this 20-minute piece for baritone, obviously voice using a lot of breath, and orchestra that uses texts from all over, from Jewish folklore all the way to COVID mandates, all the way to all kinds of things. It's a really cool piece. I'm excited about that.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hello, I am Charlie Douglas with the Douglas Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm with many practice areas to serve your particular needs. The Douglas Law Firm is located in downtown Ocala at 110 North Magnolia Avenue. Give us a call today for a free consultation or visit us at dhclawyers.com.
Well, this is the most exciting part of the podcast, at least for me. It's our lightning round question, and I had some fun putting this together today because I'm doing a couples version.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of back and forth between the two of you, but we'll have a little bit of fun with it. So, Pamela, one word to describe Matt.
Exciting?
I'm excitable. I don't know if I'm exciting. So.
I'd say every day is something different.
There you go.
Right.
It's always exciting.
Right.
And Matt, what do you think is Pamela's biggest strength that she brings to the Reilly?
Yeah. Her ability to be considerate of and care about our team and get our team to coalesce around our mission. And that's something that I think is something we can learn about in trainings, and we can we can work on that skill set. But it's also something that I think a natural leader is born with, and I think Pam has that quality that may not come naturally to all of us, and it's really cool to see that and see our team shape around that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And Pamela, what trait do you value most from members of your team?
I'd say kindness. I think being kind, considerate, thoughtful. Those are all really important. I think you can learn how to do a job. You can learn a process, but being thoughtful and kind to your peers and to yourself is really big, and that's something that is really important when I'm hiring and looking to build our team.
Mm-hmm. Matt, what mentor do you think had the biggest influence on your music career?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. My friend, Dr. Raymond Shobaz, who was my teacher at UF when I was there for my undergrad, and then when I came back to do my doctorate, he was my doctoral advisor. His approach to music making and respect for this great art. I mean, classical music's been around in its current form, 450 years or so. And the way that he approaches music and kind of instilled in me a genuineness and a responsibility that, when I'm interpreting something that was written 300 years ago, I have sort of a responsibility to those blobs of ink on the page, and what that means is really special. And he's just a really funny and nice guy. So I always kind to his students and to the people that play in his orchestra. So he had and still has a huge impact on me.
Yeah. Pamela, dream artist to book at the Reilly.
Oh my gosh. I would love Michael Kiwanuka.
I knew that's what you're going to say.
I don't know if you've heard Michael Kiwanuka, but Natalie, you'd love him.
Yeah.
If you don't know him, look him up. But I think the first time I heard one of his albums, I was like, he would be fabulous in the Reilly. And then he just got really big. But maybe we'll put it out there into the ether, and it'll come true.
And how can our listeners find out more about the Reilly and support it?
Definitely go to our website, ReillyArtsCenter.com, or you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Reilly Arts Center. We are constantly posting things on there, what's coming up. We have a weekly email that you can sign up for. But like Matt said earlier, we are booking new shows pretty much every other week. So there's always something new. So you could check the website one day and check back, another week from then, and you'll find something new on there.
And everything from the Reilly, the Symphony, and the Marion are all on that one website. So it's kind of cool if you're looking for something to do. And the school.
And our school schedule is on there.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Pamela, Matt, for being on the show today. We really appreciate your time. And again, check out the Reilly Arts Center and the Marion Theatre, all of the wonderful things going on in the arts and music in Ocala.
Cool.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Catalyst, hosted by the Ocala Metro Chamber and Economic Partnership, sponsored by Douglas Law Firm, and recorded live at Wiley Productions Podcast Studios. New episodes, guests, and perspectives on leadership premiere twice a month. Follow us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Have a suggestion for a future guest? Email us at thecatalyst@ocalacep.com.